Title: Tangled Hearts. Episode 1. Nike was a married woman living in the bustling suburb of Ajibode. She ran a small but thriving petty shop, selling household items and groceries. On the surface, her life seemed ordinary, yet inside, she felt a void. Her marriage had been quiet, almost routine, and she and her husband had no children, a fact that weighed heavily on her. Then, one fateful afternoon, Adu walked into her shop. He was charming, confident, and had an energy that immediately drew Nike in. From that moment, her whole world shifted. She thought she had known love before, but with Adu, it was overwhelming, intoxicating. She found herself thinking about him constantly, longing for his presence, craving his attention. Adu, too, was captivated by Nike. He couldn't go a day without hearing her voice or seeing her smile. He started visiting her shop frequently, sometimes under the guise of buying petty items, but everyone could see the unspoken connection between them. As their friendship deepened, so did their secret passion. They started seeing each other privately, and it didn't take long before their bond became physical. Despite Nike being married, Adu's love and desire for her were undeniable. They began making plans to be together officially, dreaming of a life where they could marry and live abroad, far from the prying eyes of their communities and the complications of their current lives. Nike often imagined leaving her husband, while Adu planned his escape from his own marriage. They envisioned a new life together, freedom, love, and happiness. However, life had its own way of intervening. Their dream of relocating abroad fell through due to unforeseen complications, visa issues, financial hurdles, and family pressures. While Adu was trying to sort out the new plan, Nike discovered she was pregnant. Shock, fear, and uncertainty gripped both of them. The timing was such that the question of paternity became unavoidable. Months later, the child was born. The resemblance was unmistakable. The baby had dark skin, thick hair, and features that were strikingly similar to Adu, not Nike's fair-complexioned husband. The truth was clear, yet unspoken tension hung in the air like a heavy fog. Nike and Adu were ecstatic and terrified at the same time. The child symbolized their forbidden love but also represented the impossible choices they had to make. For Nike, it was a mix of guilt and joy. For Adu, it was both pride and anxiety. The world might never understand, but in their hearts, the child was theirs, a living testament to a love that defied norms, rules, and consequences. They continued their clandestine meetings, navigating the complexities of their intertwined lives, each day learning how to balance desire, responsibility, and the societal judgments they could not escape. Life had given them a tangled heart, but in each other, they had found a love that neither marriage nor circumstance could erase. Yet, in the quiet moments, they both wondered, could love alone ever justify the pain they had caused, or the life they had disrupted? Only time would tell. Stay tuned for the next episode. Title: Tangled Hearts. Episode 2. Nike's life had changed forever. The birth of her child brought joy, but it also brought complications she had never imagined. Her husband, oblivious to the secret that had been growing between them, was initially delighted at the arrival of a child, but soon, unease crept into his heart. The baby was dark-skinned, with thick, curly hair, and features that were nothing like his own fair complexion. At first, he tried to convince himself that appearances could be deceiving, but every glance at the child made the doubt gnaw at him. He couldn't understand how this could happen. Meanwhile, Adu was anxious. He loved the child and knew the resemblance was undeniable. But he also feared the consequences if their secret came to light. Each day, he would visit Nike, holding the baby, whispering promises of a future together, while their reality remained tangled in lies and half-truths. It wasn't long before whispers began circulating in their neighborhood. People noticed the child's dark complexion and the striking similarity to Adu. Rumors grew, and soon Nike's husband confronted her. "Nike, tell me the truth," he demanded one evening, his voice trembling with a mixture of anger and desperation. Who is the father of this child? Nike's heart rests. She knew there was no turning back now. With tears in her eyes, she confessed everything: her love for Adu, their secret meetings, and the child's true paternity. Her husband was devastated. Shock turned to anger, and anger to heartbreak. He packed a bag and left the house that night, unsure if he could ever forgive her. The life they had built together was shattered, replaced by betrayal and pain. Adu, on the other hand, faced his own reckoning. When his wife discovered he had been secretly seeing Nike and fathered a child, she confronted him ruthlessly. "You've ruined everything," she shouted. Adu tried to explain, but nothing could undo the damage. Their marriage, too, was crumbling under the weight of lies and deceit. Nike and Adu were now free from their marriages, but freedom came with a heavy price. They had the love they had longed for and a child who bound them together, yet their hearts were scarred by the pain they had caused. Society whispered about them, family members judged them, and their past choices haunted them at every turn. Still, in the quiet moments, when they were alone with their child, there was love, laughter, and hope. They knew their path would be difficult, but they also knew they could not deny the bond that had been created between them. Adu held the baby close one evening and whispered, "No matter what happens, this child is ours. We'll find a way to make it work." Nike smiled through her tears. "We'll face it together," she replied. And so, their journey continued, not the life they had planned, but a life born of love, mistakes, and the undeniable pull of destiny. Stay tuned for the next episode. Subscribe to our channel, like, comment and share. Title: Tangled Hearts, Episode 3. After the storms of betrayal and heartbreak, Nike and Adu finally found themselves free, but freedom was complicated. They were no longer bound by their previous marriages, yet they carried the heavy weight of past mistakes and societal judgment. With their child, a living reminder of their love, they decided to pursue the dream they once thought impossible, relocating abroad for a fresh start. Adu had been working tirelessly to arrange everything: the visa, accommodation, and job opportunities, while Nike prepared to leave her shop behind, knowing it would be hard to start over. The day they boarded the plane, hearts full of hope and fear, they felt as if they were leaving behind not just a country, but all the pain, shame, and judgment that had shadowed their love. Life abroad, however, was far from the fairytale they had imagined. Adjusting to a new culture, language, and way of life was a daily struggle. Adu's job did not pay as well as he had hoped, and Nike, without her shop and business connections, had to take menial jobs just to make ends meet. Yet, in the midst of hardship, their love grew stronger. They leaned on each other, finding joy in small victories: their child's first words, their first rented apartment, and the quiet evenings when they could simply be together without fear or judgment. But challenges came in different forms. Their families back home did not approve of the move. Rumors about their past spread, causing embarrassment and tension whenever they communicated with loved ones. Some friends turned away, and the weight of isolation pressed on them. One day, Nike sat quietly in their small apartment, holding their child's hand. "Do you ever regret leaving everything behind?" she asked softly. Adu looked at her, his eyes tired but resolute. "No," he said firmly. "We have each other, and we have our child. That's everything that matters. The rest, we'll build together, slowly but surely." Months turned into years. Their child grew, healthy and happy, a living bridge between their past and their present. Adu and Nike worked tirelessly, sometimes doubting themselves, sometimes celebrating small successes. Slowly, they carved out a life they could call their own, a life where love, not circumstance, defined their family. And through it all, the world outside could whisper, judge, or doubt. But in their hearts, they knew this: love had led them through betrayal, pain, and uncertainty, and now, it was giving them a second chance. A chance to live honestly, love fully, and protect the family they had created together. As Nike watched her child laugh one afternoon, she smiled, feeling a peace she had never known in her old life. Adu joined her, wrapping his arm around her shoulders. We made it, he said quietly. Against all odds, we made it. And in that moment, for the first time in years, they truly believed it. Stay tuned for the next episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment, like and share our videos.